President Trump tripling down on Jeffrey Epstein. Moments ago, the president was asked to respond to the family of an Epstein accuser, who in a new statement demands to know what Trump knew after claiming Epstein, quote, stole her from Mar-a-Lago. Okay, sorry, it looks like we don't have that soundbite, but he was asked directly what happened there. Sorry, I'm looking for the soundbite. And, he disparaged the media organization that asked the question and said, if he's taking anybody from Mar-a-Lago, he's hiring or whatever he's doing. I didn't like it, and we threw him out. We said we don't want him. So he's standing by that now. Of course, the family of Virginia Giuffre, who was one of Epstein's most outspoken and prominent accusers, right, who worked at Mar-a-Lago, that family is writing and responding now to what Trump is saying it makes us ask if he was aware of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's criminal actions, especially given his statement 2 years later that his good friend Jeffrey likes women on the younger side. Now, the question that they asked there about what Trump knew is a crucial question. Giuffre suffered her whole life from the trauma of her time with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. She died by suicide just a few months ago after a life fighting and recovering from what happened to her with Epstein. And tonight, Outfront has uncovered something that you may not have heard in all this coverage recently. There was a Lifetime documentary. Giuffre appears in it. She appears in it. She talks about all of this in her own words. And she died this spring, right? She died by suicide, so she can't tell a story now. But here she is talking about the first conversation that she had with Ghislaine Maxwell at Mar-a-Lago.
She said, "Oh, you're reading a book on massage therapy." And, we started talking. And she goes, "Oh, you know what? I know this guy. There's an opportunity, actually. If you want to become a real massage therapist, we can get you trained." Within the next few weeks, Jeffrey and Ghislaine told me that I need to quit my job with Mar-a-Lago because I'll be traveling with them as their traveling masseuse.
It was a big opportunity for her. And you see her there talking in her own words. Well, according to her deposition that she gave, and the reason Giuffre is so important, of course, every single victim here, and there are apparently 1,000 in the Epstein files or maybe more, every single one equally as important in their suffering. But the case of Giuffre is crucial because she spoke. There was a case, there was depositions, she was interviewed. She said she only worked at Mar-a-Lago for 2 or 3 weeks, actually, before Maxwell approached her, as she just described in that documentary. Now, as we've said on this program, a 16 or 17-year-old leaving the spa after just a few weeks on the job is hard to buy as the reason a decade-plus close friendship between Trump and Epstein blew up, right? And in fact, it didn't blow up because of that. I mean, 2 years later, Trump did tell the New York Magazine, quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life. Again, disturbing now to hear those words in the context of everything we know. But just to be very clear, Trump said that 2 years after Giuffre left Mar-a-Lago to be what she thought was a masseuse for Epstein after working at Mar-a-Lago for just a couple weeks. And I want to play something else Trump then has said about his friendship with Epstein.
He stole people that worked for me. I said, "Don't ever do that again." He did it again, and I threw him out of the place.
Okay, why did we play that? Because Trump said something new there. He said he did it, and then he did it again. So he's saying that Epstein hired other workers from Mar-a-Lago, which then begs the question, okay, who are they? Is it true? The investigative editor for the Palm Beach Post, who has reported extensively on the Epstein investigation, told Outfront that she's never seen any evidence that there was more than one employee, quote unquote, stolen from Mar-a-Lago. Only the one, it appears. Well, if there's more, let's hear about them. But it's not just Trump's explanation that doesn't add up. It's also now the White House's. Caroline Leavitt, in a statement to CNN, says today, quote, "The fact remains that President Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his club for being a creep to his female employees." But according to the 2020 book, The Grifters Club, Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago in 2007. Okay, the reason, they say, is that he allegedly hit another member's daughter. Now, we don't know if that's the reason or not, but we know 2007, according to the the Miami Herald. And that is important to note because that is a year after Epstein was indicted. A year after he was indicted. Now, in a moment, I'm going to speak to the attorney who represented Virginia Giuffre as well as other Epstein and Maxwell accusers. She was in the room with Maxwell during her deposition. She knows every detail of this story inside out. First, though, we're going to go to Jeff Zeleny out front live outside the White House. And Jeff, Trump today, tripling down essentially on this. He hired someone away, and that's why this fell apart, which isn't clearing anything up on his relationship with Epstein because the dates just simply don't line up. What are you learning?
Aaron, it was interesting to hear the president talk once again. He said earlier this week that their relationship broke up because Jeffrey Epstein stole one of his employees. The question, though, is why? So the president was asked about that again this afternoon.
You said that Jeffrey Epstein stole people from Mar-a-Lago. At the time, did you know why he was taking those young women, including Virginia?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news that would ask that question, one of the worst. But no, I don't know really why. But I said if he's taking anybody from Mar-a-Lago, he's hiring or whatever he's doing. I didn't like it, and we threw him out. We said we don't want him, at the place. This is a story that's been known for many years, as you know. But it's, I didn't like it that he was doing that.
So when you listen to that, you can tell it doesn't answer the question or clear up really the many questions that have been hanging over this matter now for going on almost 4 weeks. I mean, the bottom line is the president has added more detail about Jeffrey Epstein saying he stole someone, but again, not suggesting that he knew why. Of course, she was a young masseuse. She worked in the spa. So again, Aaron, as we near the end of another week here, the question still persists. So the president had time there to do a pretty routine attack on the press, but did not answer the questions. And they do still loom large among his supporters, as well as others, members of Congress.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.